All right, remind everybody this meeting is being recorded. Do you have any time certain things that we have to do tonight?
Public hearing, 7:30 for 70 Main Street. That's the only time.
That's the only one. Okay, do we, then I think we can, start out with Park Street. Bruce, you want to, start out?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, Brad wanted to start, and I can explain.
Yeah.
Hey, I come forward, I have a hearing
Yes,
problem,
please.
so thank you.
My name is Brad Latham. I'm here with Bruce Wheeler. And we're requesting an extension of the special permit deadline to start construction for 146, 150 Park Street. This board granted a special permit to allow a senior housing facility on the downhill area behind the historic home. And that was for 50 senior housing units, of which over 15% are affordable. And that's where we are today. We're asking for an extension of the time to start construction to February 2026. And I'd like to recite the reasons for that, and Bruce is here to obviously show his interest and sincerity, and also to discuss any details with you. But basically, this is caused by a number of factors. As I think most of you are tied to the construction industry or are familiar with it. Right now, there's a tough squeeze between tariff impact on price of materials, construction materials, and high interest rates. And when you have an affordable component, which of course cuts into any profit and any contingency percentages, it makes a very difficult situation. So for that reason, the construction has not started. And the hope is that the environment would change before the extension period we've asked for to 2027, which is what our request is, so that Bruce could start before then. But that's the background of it. It's a very attractive project. I have with me copies of the decision if you'd like to look at them, if you don't have them. But it has 50 units. The garage parking is underneath, so there's not a great deal of exposure of parking in the site, well landscaped and attractively designed. So that's our request, and we're more than happy to answer any questions that the commission may have.
Yeah,
Great, thanks.
I can provide a little more color too.
Sure.
Bruce Wheeler, Habitat Communities. It's really the sort of the trifecta combination of the inflation in the construction costs, driving up the cost of the building, and the affordable units don't move up. They're based on the median income, so they're flat, and the interest rates going up is really made it difficult to finance a lot of these multifamily developments. We have a great financing relationship, and with interest rates turning the corner and coming down, and everyone expecting them to come down, we're tracking towards getting the foundation in the ground in August or September. That's what we're working towards. And
26,
pardon?
26,
Uh,
2026?
of starting in 2026, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, starting in 2026. Looking for an extension for 1 year to February 2027, but we're targeting getting that foundation in the latter summer, and things are tracking in that direction with interest rates and our financing.
Okay, thank you. So, as you notice, probably most of this board, you haven't dealt with before, so.
Yeah.
They don't really know who you are. And for the record, Bruce has done a lot of development in this town. He's done a really, really good job. He's been a very reliable, good helper and high quality work. So this particular project was almost tailored to match the requests that we made for providing housing, especially affordable housing in the area. So it was if you ever get a chance to read through it, it's a perfect. It fits what we're trying to do perfectly, so. Does anybody have any questions on what's going on?
I just had a question on the relo of the house up front, the existing house, the historic house. Is that gonna happen? Like, what's the timing of that, I guess?
The next summer, we'd be, looking at that and, we'd have putting in a new foundation and a moving operation to, move it, to the right and back.
A little bit,
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
so
it's-
that's really the foundation operation of the new building and the relocation don't have to happen sequentially. They don't have a sequential relationship, but we want to do it on the front end. With all the site work and foundation going, it'll be mixed in with that.
Yeah, take economies from all that equipment on
Right,
site there. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. I just want to say, Bruce, that I saw the plans and I was, sir, we were looking at what you did there. I was actually excited when I saw that. What you're offering back to the town and the quality of like your layout and everything. I just thought you did a really good job over there.
Thank you.
I'm excited. I can't wait till it's built. I tell everybody about your property.
We're so proud of the site and feel like we've been in this community for decades, and I've worked there for decades and continue and plan to continue working there. Really, we haven't lost any enthusiasm for the development. I didn't want to spend so much time with North Reading, zoning change and permitting, and then run in there and build it in too risky of an environment with the high inflation. I thought, let's just wait till things calm down and this starts turning the other direction, and because once you have this 50-unit structure up, it's expensive. It's expensive every month, and so we didn't want to risk having a problem.
I did turn 60 this year, so wink. No, good job. Good job.
Well, we do have we do have local preference, for sure. So that is built into the whole equation, both
Love that.
for the market and the affordable units. We have local preference built in.
Thank you.
Thank
Plus,
you.
we've had Brad with us the whole time as well.
No,
We work with-
I'll probably move in too.
Yeah, I know you for Reading. not
Thank you.
from- Any other questions or comments? All right, a motion for
Motion.
motion.
I move that CPC vote to grant the requested extension of time to commence construction for 146 to 150 Park Street Senior Housing Development, including the binder, utilities, and drainage until February 2nd, 2027.
Second.
Okay, motion and seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, let the record show 5 and 4 in favor, no opposed.
Thank you
Take
very
care,
much
Bruce.
for your time. It was really wonderful to see all of you tonight. It was great.
You've done well for this town, so I hope that things straighten up so you can put
Yeah.
that project together.
I feel certain they will.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
We have an agenda, I just think not working.
We're gonna go stay full year, but we could go to the next year. Mr. Chair?
Yes.
We have minutes. Luke just texted me, said he's on, I guess, Conscom has some meetings and stuff, but he's on with conservation, but he should be here.
like in the next 9 minutes or so. He just said, let them know. Yeah, said, let them know I'm running late because I'm on conservation, on the conservation.
We have minutes we can do.
Yeah.
Anyone else need an
If
agenda?
it gets to 7:30, I guess we gotta just do, we'll do the brunt.
Well, then this, yeah, this left to look at, so,
Yeah,
you know. it's-
hopefully everything is.
Alrighty, so, let's see, so we'll do some minutes, but some. John, you do motions for the minutes?
Sure. I move the CPC vote to approve the minutes of 9/16/2025 as written.
Second.
Motion is second, so any further discussion, changes or revisions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed, let the record show 5 in favor, no opposed, John.
I move that CPC vote to approve the minutes of 10/21/2025 as written.
Second now.
Okay, motion is second, any further discussions or any revisions or changes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Let the record show 5 in favor, no opposed. Alrighty, you have any ZBAs? I didn't see it in there. ZBAs, yeah. Okay, well, we can, in a couple more minutes here, so.
Your updates.
Yeah. Got anything for us tonight?
Sure, I'll hold off on a full summary of it, but until we have more responses, but, the Central Street survey went out that we discussed at the last meeting. So far about 158 people have replied. I would like to do a little bit of a deeper dive into who, are abutters versus, elsewhere in town, but we have all of that ability to track. So, thought it would allow people to reply maybe over the next couple of weeks, a little bit more time, and then maybe at our next meeting.
Well, it's in the front page of the transcript too, so.
Thanks, like-
Is that your doing? Anyway, Maureen Brooks.
She picked it up off of Town News, but I was going to send it in if she didn't.
Yeah, so that should generate, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How many letters went out, Daniel?
It was in
A
the
lot.
50s, but more than that.
Poor Deb.
That number of letters, I want to say it's somewhere between 55 and 65 in that range, but there, maybe it was a little bit more than that, but we opened it to everyone, so we can at least see who,
Yeah.
most people are not replying on paper, most people are either going to the link on the survey, the URL, or the QR code, or they're, going online, but, some people are sending in paper surveys, so we're tabulating everything.
Is there a deadline for this?
I didn't put a deadline on there. I thought to leave it open for 3 to 4 weeks.
We don't actually have the funds to do anything with yet anyway, so.
We don't, but I actually just very recently heard that the Complete Streets program has upped their maximum award to $1 million instead of 500,000, so that could actually possibly be a fit.
they
So
could
I,
get us- That's for that would be for the upper Spruce Road, because that's an already engineered.
right. I did also work with the town engineer to, it's a DPW capital request, but it's included in their capital request. Just with the understanding that as we assess, what the neighborhood wants, if we wanted to hold a request, certainly we could always do that because the capital planning committee is not ready to start evaluating projects, but we wanted to get it in there. So, I'll have more of a report on the survey.
So Danielle, when did we find out, like, so if it was bumped from 500,000 to $1 million, like, that's a huge difference for that project.
Definitely.
And when, like, where do we go, or what do we have to do?
There are a couple application rounds. There's one that I think is opening early January. And there should be another one later in the year. The issue with Complete Streets is they like to know that you have any town funds needed in hand, before you get awarded a Complete Streets grant. But what we could do is, we could aim to apply this January. I could work with the town engineer on that. And then, as the year goes on, we could kind of track how the capital planning process is going, and if we're getting an indication that we would need the funds, that we could be, because we still would need funding for police detail and some additional work. And if we looked like we were about to do that, we would be able to know by the time the awards were granted, whether we had that in hand. So we could try to make it work for this coming funding.
We have an engineering estimate on the first phase, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, but it's not a contractor, it has to be an engineering estimate.
It's an engineering estimate. What the town engineer did was he based it on, when Millennium did the design for us, they did the original cost estimate, and it's been inflated by a certain factor each year that has gone by, so that's how the town engineer has done it, but he can do a more specific, I think because it's required for the Complete Streets program, he can do like a DOT, cost estimate, a sheet that lists, quantities of labor and everything. So we can, I can work with him, and if he feels like we can do it, we could into this coming funding round, otherwise we can try for the next one, but that's a really big difference. I mean, previously that program was not a great fit because it just wasn't. enough money.
Do we have to match, or do we just have to supplement?
Just supplement, there's no match that they say is required, but they won't cover more than, I think 5% of the cost, total project cost can be police detail, and our police details are always much, much, much more than that. Just this project, the nature of the work, the number of people needed, the hours needed, it was like, I mean, when we did that a few years ago, it was, at least, $130,000 or $40,000, and we needed that from the capital planning committee.
Because we have tree work and maybe some walls.
Yeah.
And a couple of places where we have to do something about the grade to make it handicap accessible. And that road's got some hills in it. They're gonna be a little difficult to negotiate without putting walls and doing grading, so we'll have to see how that all works out, so. Okay,
And then I know the select board recently, decided to go ahead with a review of the general bylaws, which, I don't normally have a ton of contact with the general bylaws. Usually it's the zoning bylaws that we're most, involved with, but, all the staff is being asked to help with certain aspects of the general bylaws for particular purposes. And so I'm doing a review of the bylaws right now. And one of the things I'm doing is, looking for conflicts between the zoning bylaw and the general bylaws, and I'm actually finding a few. So, it'll be
joy.
interesting. Old, they're decades old. They were all done at different times. Different boards and committees asked for different bylaws and didn't necessarily always talk to each other. So it's interesting. It's nothing disastrous, but there are a few things that need to change. Some definitions that are, it should be more consistent, what constitutes a public way, that kind
you
of thing.
can't tie your horse up at a store anymore. Yeah, there are some older things in there, so. This isn't the first time we reviewed, or that this board has reviewed those bylaws, belong from a while ago.
Some of them are definitely pretty old, but it is interesting because I'm also picking up some things in the zoning that maybe we should think about changing. And the stormwater bylaw review that we did a couple years ago will come in handy because the stormwater bylaw is part of the general bylaw. So reviewing that will be, there will be a lot of suggested changes that, that the consultant has recommended for us.
In what way? Because the,
You mean for stormwater in particular?
because, stormwater is stormwater, you don't get to make a lot of changes in that.
Overall, we follow the state regulations, but, their recommendation, and these are also things that are not necessarily changes, I'm gonna write it and say we need to make, but things that we should maybe have for discussion. So it would be things like, do we want to look at having a lower threshold for having to meet the stormwater bylaw, things like that, that they had flagged.
So,
for us.
could compare the stormwater bylaw to the, for example, the subdivision control law to make sure that they vote that what we require in the subdivision control law matches what's in the stormwater bylaw.
Yes.
As far as implementation.
Yes, and basically we do that because our stormwater regs and our subdivision, our subdivision regulations and our site plan review regulations both reference the stormwater bylaw and the state standards. So that is pretty consistent. There are a few things that should be maybe changed or looked at, but that part of it's pretty consistent. It's the stormwater bylaw itself that has a few things in there. Like the building inspector is the person issuing the permit, and that's not necessarily the best way to do that. So that's something I was gonna flag for discussion, maybe possible changes to. Other things having to do with procedure. There's some stormwater bylaws in there that actually are inconsistent, like within that stormwater bylaw. So I'm trying to flag those things. Anyway, it's been interesting to just take a deep look at some parts of the bylaws that we don't usually deal with.
Warren, have they actually chosen which side of the street they're gonna, with that project?
Are you talking about Central?
Yeah, Central, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, because the even numbered side has the utility poles, it would need to be the odd numbered side,
Odd side.
yeah.
Okay. You all set now, or do you?
I didn't really have any scheduling things. I'll mention, there haven't been any projects that have been submitted for the 2 December meetings. I'll keep an eye on that. I'll just keep everyone posted. Our December 16th meeting is pretty close to the holidays, so I don't know if we wanna think about, we'll see what. Maybe we can, at the end, have a discussion about everyone's schedule.
Well, it, being 7:30, I guess we'll hear from 7 Main Street. Good evening.
Dan Westbound from Bergmeyer Associates, I'm representing Run Workwear for the 70 Main Street project. We submitted a site plan review for the change of use. The original building was a restaurant use and is now going to be retail use for Run Workwear.
I just wanted to mention, in case you were ready to vote tonight, I did put a draft conditional approval, as we're reviewing just for a change of use. There wasn't any expensive, exterior construction that we were gonna be doing, but it, it's just in there in case you're ready.
So my first question to the board is, has everybody had a chance to kind of review this? Look this over, these plans over? Yes. Anybody have any questions, any serious considerations with it? Go ahead, Dave.
It's very straightforward. So, first off, I love, the Brunt product. I love what you guys are doing. I love how you're a local company and you've established yourself on Concord. As last applicant that was up here is I'm basically in the trade, seeing people every day, and I'm amazed at how many people are wearing the Brunt boots now. Whereas it was all Red Wings, a couple of years ago, so it's pretty cool. And everyone's raving about the Brunt toe and all that kind of stuff. So big fan of the product. Really excited that you're in North Reading. Also really excited that we're getting rid of, I wish Joe Fish was successful, but it didn't work out. So it's just great to get rid of an eyesore on Main Street. I love the exterior, so kudos to you, it looks really cool. It's gonna be a really cool building. I like the idea of getting rid of all the walk-in coolers and all that kind of stuff, so it's gonna get rid of that food service, restaurant look and be a really cool retail, kind of hip, industrial chic kind of look there. The only question I had when I was looking at it was knowing that parking lot and knowing, Walmart, it's kind of a hot little corridor right there, and I'm just concerned a little bit about is it, how are we gonna stop, people flying right by the front of your store, because that, your signature kind of front, it looks great, but that's like right in the pathway of a lot of people, and they just come in on 28 and just zoom in. I think there's some big speed bumps there now.
Really?
And they're maybe called out in your site plan, is that what those big long stripes are?
Yeah, that's what those are.
So I mean, that will have a calming effect, we'll see you lose your front end of your car. But but at the same rate, like, it is pretty scary right there, so, I'm just wondering, like, Mr. Chair, like, what we can do to ensure whether it's good lighting right there, like, just, more request kind of stuff,
Well,
not
I agree
demand.
that lighting would be good, but I think a sign, good sized sign that says speed bump, slow down.
Is there anything there now like that, for speed bump or?
I don't think so. I think there was at one point, but
Yeah.
then they were knocked down.
My snowplow. My warrant's kind of.
Yeah, no, put that right up on his blade. A lot of people like to speed around the speed bumps
Right,
and kind of avoid them
I've
altogether.
done
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna just be honest. Okay, yeah. And so, just curious too, what's the plan for when you would, I've noticed, going over there, you're already doing demo in there, stripping everything out of there. What is the basic plan for opening and, construction, fit out?
Yeah, so we're gonna be pretty aggressive with the schedule, so the goal is to be completed by April.
Okay.
For construction, and that's timing with, landlord and lease obligations. So we're starting interior demolition right now, getting the space all cleared out, getting a structural engineer in there to evaluate the existing structure, just as safety check and everything. And then from there, rolling into our, actual construction, the building permit's gonna be submitted on the 20th this week. Okay. With the goal of having approval hopefully around Christmas, as a Christmas gift, but, we'll see.
So April is grand opening, that's the plan is, okay. And then there was some discussion before, and just more for not only mine, but other people's clarification. So what happens to Concord now? What's happening to that litigation? What will that be like, or not be?
The office?
Yeah.
The Chromium,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, we've got about 18,000 square feet.
Please state your name.
Oh, sorry, Eric Gerard, founder and CEO of Run Workwear. So yeah, so 7 Main Street will become our first ever flagship retail store. So full blown retail experience that'll obviously sell boots and apparel and be the full brand experience. The Concord Street is our headquarters, and so we've got about 18,000 usable square feet there. We are running out of space by the day as we continue to grow, so that will still continue to be business headquarters. And so while we have events and things, a lot of that stuff will probably start to subside because the space there is for employees and teams and work and stuff.
So
like that.
you still do, you know how we approve like the showroom and you're able to still kind of, with trades coming by, are you still kind of do that function? Not that I don't have an issue with it, I'm just trying to
Yeah,
understand.
I
Like,
think, so we're kind of figuring that out because we're running into, issues with parking and space and things of that nature. So the reality is on Thursdays, a lot of folks like to come by because they like to see product and try and product. So once the store is open, I think it's gonna probably wind that down
yeah, cause they.
quite a bit because they can go to the store Monday through Saturday.
Right.
I think with the opening with RKK, roughly 60 hours a week. So hopefully it'll actually suppress that quite a bit. That could be the office and this be the retail floor.
Right,
Etc. Those things.
You mentioned your hours too, what are the hours that you plan on doing?
We're planning on being open 10 to 6 or 10 to 7.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
6 days a week.
Okay.
7 days a week, yeah.
7 days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, it's Eric, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Eric.
Can you spell your name just for the,
It's Gerard, it's Girouard.
okay, thank you.
Giroud. Never get that if I said it.
Thank you. And
Thank
you want it?
Mr. Chair, that's all I had. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
anything
you.
else on that? Yeah, I want to go back to the driveway there, the traffic thing there. I'm wondering if there should be some way of, having those speed bumps there doesn't do any good, everybody goes around. All guilty, and so, but, but should we, is there, with the traffic, with a likely increase in traffic coming across that, should we do something besides just sign the two? I think we need to have a sign there. That mentioned those, the speed bumps are there and that they need to slow down.
Mr. Chair, too, Danielle, can you put the plans up, by chance?
Can I
And
just-
specifically that architectural site?
Yeah, please, it should be read.
I'm being told we need to read the public hearing notice.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you
Before
really need to read it
We're,
before.
we've dropped the ball a few times. You want me to read it?
Of course, well, that's.
Sure.
that's supposed to be-
Out of order.
No, no worries.
What else? Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
We'll take a quick pause on, and we'll start everything again. Notice is hereby given that the North Reading Community Planning Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 in room 14 of the North Reading Town Hall and online at 7:30 PM on the application of Ryan Little / RK North Reading LLC for a site plan review for miscellaneous retail for the property located at 70 Main Street, North Reading, Mass, map 23, parcel 81. The whole participate thing or just that?
No, that's okay.
Thank you.
Um, Was it, let's see, I'm sorry, the site chart.
Yeah, it should be
So,
that package.
Like Wayne Garth said, game on.
So the traffic thing there is an issue, and I believe you'd likely to have an increase in the amount of traffic coming through there. Which means we need to make sure that we have some kind of control over it. So
That's the demo one, Danielle, should be like the.
I think there's more than adequate
Oh,
parking.
there you go.
Yeah, site plan.
There you go.
And then scroll down.
Yeah,
Parking
we're-
to
there you
the
So
north side of the building there should be.
It's just so you see, so it's, cause what are those vertical, what's the indication, what are these? I know it's an architectural site plan, so it's not civil, but so are the lines that are horizontal, the actual, speed bumps, or is that, like, what do those imply, those lines?
So that's the existing striping that's right now, that goes that full length all the way up. We were planning on maintaining the existing striping.
Right.
The parking lot is gonna get, mill and top coat completed by landlord with new striping.
Oh, nice.
But we're gonna keep all the existing, parking spaces and sizes. As well as the same ADA, space locations, because the sloping there is, pretty good for ADA, so it had minimal amount of work to, bring those up to compliance. And it leads right to our main entrance, so we're utilizing the existing vestibule, so we still have that kind of dual entry going on that, Joe Fish originally had. We're more than adequately parked on the site. And then those speed bumps are that horizontal, thick line, and they actually do continue up.
The vertical, that speed bump?
Yeah, so they're horizontal and they do have a vertical component as well.
So, Mr. Chair, maybe your point that the signage would be in that vertical, like actually almost embedded in or to
It
the
would
right?
almost have to be. So this is gonna be part of the speed bump?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
It
is
would
right
almost
now.
have to be here to catch them before they get there.
Yeah, almost like at the leading edge on almost both.
Yeah, both directions.
But again, because that's gonna be like a main entrance right there, right?
Right,
Yeah.
So you're gonna signage and stuff there, so that even makes it more important, because people are gonna be crossing that back and forth to the parking lot, it's not like they can access. Other than if they park at the back or the sides, and they can access whatever, but other than that, people parking over there is gonna definitely be. Dealing with traffic crossing there, so.
Mr. Chair, just-
That might be a problem like that.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about things like coming in, not having it open here, but.
I think they have to.
Well, there's a
Well,
curb,
for
it's a
the
state
whole,
curb,
yeah.
it's a state curb cut.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I don't think we can do anything about that. The state says, here's the curb cut, that's it.
And the only other one is just down at the light, so that is. I think too, when you have an open business, it changes the habits of people that are regulars to that plaza, so they might continue on if it's sluggish going through there. Cause, you guys are killing it, so, yeah, that could change things, but.
But they, well, and of course, the concept is if the light is in fact. Makes a safe in and out for everybody as opposed to going in and out here with an uncontrolled intersection, if you will. So, and I was just trying to think of how you could mitigate that,
Are there curves separating the parking spots on the right side?
No, they just
Just
striped, yeah.
There's those little.
Well, I mean, right now, they just striped, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I
Maybe trying to get people to not go around the speed.
A
bump,
small
but those
median
little-
size,
Those little medians between the parking.
just
lots.
a couple feet wide, something.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could throw some concrete curbs that we actually
If you
have
could,
in front of
if
the
you
building.
could,
And in a perfect world,
if you could prevent people from going, once they go over the first bump, they'll go over the second one.
in a perfect world, like they said, like you said, they're killing it. And there's gonna be cars
There's
there,
cars there.
so they won't be able to go around the speed bumps so much. But just as a thought, as far as people crossing and things like that, rather than a speed bump, and this would be something with the landlord, I assume, a speed table with a crosswalk.
Yeah.
You get over a little bit smoother than, saving your front end with a more aggressive speed bump. But it still forces people to see it and slow and pay attention.
That's
So
an excellent point. I think a marked crosswalk, similar to one you see on the street anywhere, a marked crosswalk would be a really good.
But if it's elevated like a speed table, it serves both purposes.
Hmm.
It'll slow you and save the front ends for a little bit.
So, just a thought too, like, so if.
So you're talking about
we're-
raised,
Yeah, kind of,
Raised cross.
it's
raised across.
raised crosswalk, speed table, that's a bunch of different names for it.
So I'm envisioning, pulling in, going into your store and all that stuff. And we know like that part of the parking lot is crazy. People just zip around. I mean, it's crazy right there. And if your front door is where it is, I would imagine or envision that when people are coming in off on 93 or whichever way they're coming in, as soon as they move into where they're pulling off to the right, because your front door is right there, even though you have like all that awesome parking and all that stuff. So like that whole section to the right is gonna be like a bowling alley. You know what I mean? My thought. And to send pedestrians across. Because that's really, I would think, if you're pulling in, oh, there's a front door, boom, pull right over, and that's where you're at, and that's like that's the speedway right there to avoid those. So I don't know if there's something that. And I mean, I'm excited too, I think this is great, this is all good, this is good stuff,
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this, so all my guys. But, it just to me seems like that's just gonna be maybe something that. Give a little more thought to, as far as like pedestrians going from that whole offshoot to your front door.
I think John's idea is good, though.
Yeah, it is, I mean,
It
that's,
kind of, it really calls out that this is a pedestrian zone. The other thing too is, did you ask the landlord if he would put in islands at all right there? And because there's tons of parking as you go back to the right there, so it's not what's just shown. Like you'd lose that spot, or that could become handicap and have 5 foot, high of the 5 foot apron in there. But it seems like it would beautify, like you get a beautiful store, if that's a very barren parking lot, like having just that island there would look really good. Is that possible with the landlord, or they're paving for you, but is it possible for them to form? It doesn't have to be.
Where do you wanna put the island, Dave?
I mean, it would
First
just be,
parking
it would
spots?
just go to the right of the current speed bump, the vertical speed bumps, and just build off of that, so then you just form a hard edge, but also to add trees and a little bit of green in there.
So you
It's
get rid of
barren
the
in
first
there.
2 parking spots.
You'd lose that, but you can create like handicap, you can put
Yeah.
those, make that the 5 foot loading bay, so you
Yeah.
can still salvage that,
There's a ton of parking here, so
Yeah,
there's really.
yeah.
How wide is those
They should be
parking spots
9,
along the edge?
8,
How
9.
wide is that?
What
They're
the,
normally 9 by,
No, they
they're
should-
normally 10 by 20, that's the standard
Yeah.
parking.
but
So 9 by 18 is what they usually ask for, that's a compact car
Yeah.
parking.
So the vertical lines to the right of the horizontal where the speed bumps are gonna be, how
I don't know,
wide,
these 10 by 20.
how wide is that?
Double check right now, I believe they measured out 9 by 18 on
Yeah,
that
well,
side.
people look for that, there's actually, I
Yeah,
think
so-
in our code, it says
Not
10
that
by 20,
wide.
right?
People go
Well, like I say, you
over
take
a
the
variance.
edge.
You have to get a variance for a 9 by 18.
you have a 4 foot island,
In the driveway.
5 foot loading,
Yeah.
for the rest of it, for any, or anything, you just have it hashed out, it can become handicap or not, island.
Yeah.
but-
Well, you got handicap
he's got-
already.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean, like, that's why you don't have to make it, I'm just saying that, if you guys were hurting for parking spaces, I'd be saying, no, we're not gonna, but there's not an issue, like, that goes all the way to the giant transmission tower. I
Mhm.
mean, there's so much parking over there,
yeah,
especially since he's repaving, because it's a mess right now, it's all, a
Well, they
mess.
technically only have this parking that belongs to them.
Yeah, but, well, aren't they gonna probably go pave pretty far over, because it's, their whole lot's destroyed in the front there.
My understanding is that they are doing the full
Yeah.
repaving
Oh, wow.
of the lot.
I mean, it's their overflow for the mall or the plaza, but, you guys totally benefit from it. Because it'll, people will just go to the right there and just build off it, But,
It doesn't look like there's much room for people to get out of their cars. On those.
Yeah, somebody parks,
Parking
like you were
spots
saying,
there.
and they open their door into that traffic.
Yeah, Eric, you're swinging your door
Put that-
open right
put
over.
that
the
island
speed
there.
bump. So it's like, I know it's a vertical speed bump,
Yeah,
but I mean, like,
yeah,
if,
yeah.
if someone's going
Yeah.
up, there goes your door. But I just think it would beautify the lot a little bit, because it is very sparse there on the right side of that parcel. When you go through there right now, and I know this place is closed, it's not all welded and stuff, but.
So you have to say a 4 or 5 foot island, and then we leave.
Yeah, they can be asphalt, Cape Cod, berms, so they can do it when they're doing the asphalt spraying, whenever they're doing it, so it's not like. I'm not asking for granite or anything like that, but just something that just.
Separates.
If you put the raised table crosswalk in there, you can probably eliminate those speed bumps.
Probably,
Yeah, that would be in lieu of the speed.
yeah,
bump.
you just have this, you'd have just the rate, you wouldn't have the 2
Yeah.
speed bumps along with the ridge.
And I think a painted crosswalk is so much more visible and so much more obvious to people that you slow down as opposed to, those speed bumps.
The only issue with the raised table is we'd have to extend it a good amount, because the way our entry point is, where we're coming in from the sides of the vestibule and not straight on into that vestibule. So we're essentially gonna have 2 crosswalks, one at the top, one at the bottom. That would then connect up to the existing sidewalks that are there.
Oh, you come out the side entrances.
Yeah, it's not a straight on entrance, 'cause we got landscaping, that's straight on. And then flagpole that's down in the corner that we're gonna keep.
But if they're raising the whole thing anyway, and tearing it up, they can put them anywhere.
Yeah, we can put the crosswalks anywhere on that table, table would be probably almost full length of. All the way.
So that light
Existing,
gray
existing.
whole strip in front of the opening is all landscaping.
Yep, correct.
So, you're talking about putting 2 crosswalks here?
Yeah, there'd be 2 that
One
would
at the
connect
top,
up.
one at the bottom?
Yep, that would connect over to the existing sidewalks and.
That would work.
Yeah.
Choose better one.
Where does it connect at the top? Just looks like it leads right into,
Yeah, that one we would have
Landscaping.
to extend the sidewalk over just in that one spot to connect over there.
We just need to do something to make this a little safer.
Great.
And
That's
it's
the
just-
only
it's
thing,
just-
really,
Yeah.
all in that one area.
And
But now you're forcing all your pedestrians all your customers to go down closer to Main Street to get to the sidewalk instead of up towards the middle where the entrance is located too. People come flying in.
Yeah, what's the thinking there on that? Is that to get them to the sidewalk on Main Street? Is that all that is, or the one that goes all the way south?
That was probably the original accessible connection to the sidewalk.
Understood, yeah.
Yeah, when Joe Fish probably came in, that was probably their accessible connection to the public sidewalk.
okay, that's why it comes all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So you're thinking that if you put the lower crosswalk in, makes people more vulnerable to get hit by the cars coming in, or you're gonna raise the whole thing.
if they turn into the parking lot too fast, there's not enough time to slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
If it's crossing,
Can all be raised.
if it's crossing all the way down here. Then, that extra 8 feet or whatever might.
Well, there definitely needs to be some kind of crosswalk from this part of the area here over to the
Was that, I should have a speed
So at
bump.
least one, so if
Pretty
you,
quick after you get
so
on.
if you leave the, speed bumps and you put the sign up for the speed bumps and you get a crosswalk in there that goes over to the, I don't know, I mean,
We could redirect, people that park on that side to the rear entrance to the building and then eliminate the sidewalk. We can't because the ADA that's there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one trip up there. I was thinking, eliminate that sidewalk there, do not have a
Yeah, but I think
crosswalk to the front door.
Besides being ADA, it goes down to what you consider the street where there's supposed to be another sidewalk to connect to it. counterproductive to providing walking access when, you know, which is, what the intent of that is, I'm sure. Yes.
I have a question. So. To the right of the speed bumps into the parking lot, right? That's where everybody cuts through. That's the cut through. Everybody goes 1,000 miles an hour. I have a question because you know the two beautiful trucks that you always park out on Concord Street, the big bad boys, the black ones. So, and I'm just saying, the two spots that are closest to where that
Yeah, yeah,
cut through is, and I don't know where you're gonna store your truck.
yeah.
But without trying to like really reinvent the wheel, just to slow things down over
Yeah.
there. I wanted maybe like those dedicated spots are where your billboards would be, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
with wheels. Just to say, hey, you're not coming through here going 1,000 miles an hour, you're gonna go that way instead of cutting around where everybody cuts around. Just a thought. I mean, you gotta store your vehicle somewhere. I don't know,
Yeah,
What about making it an exit only?
I'm sorry.
What about making that part an exit only?
Well, so the thing is, without trying to create too much of an issue for you guys and too much
Yeah.
for RK or, you know,
yeah.
your landlord. Right, because now we're like, what are we trying to do? We're trying to reinvent the wheel. And yes, we want it safer because we all know how, like, how fast it moves there.
Yeah.
But just as a deterrent, and I don't know how often your vehicles are.
Nah,
parked.
so I thought yesterday I parked in that first spot, the
Yeah.
bottom of that.
Yeah.
And just that, my truck alone, everyone was already going
Yeah, so,
through the middle. What my initial thought when I thought about this was we are gonna have at a minimum one, we're gonna have always two employees. So there's always gonna be two employee cars there at a minimum. If we always made those first two spots,
oh, yes.
employee parking,
But
you're never gonna
how
go.
do you police that? How do you make that a permanent thing that you can rely on all the time? Let's say the trucks are in the shop for something like. That's something has to be in place. That's
Yeah,
permanent and controllable. And
Well, so that, what's gonna happen, and to some degree, I get it, I understand that, but.
I think Dave's idea is, I think that if you put an island there, that it would be a deterrent. Because it'd be almost like parking your car there, except that it'll always be there.
Make it too much work to avoid the speed bump.
True.
Or speed
And
tape.
also, people don't wanna try to drive over one of those granite curbs, because they'll take your tires apart, so I think that probably has.
But remember too, I mean, at the store opens at 10 or whatever, at 6 AM, people might still go around, but the stores aren't open and nothing's going on, you know, people are still there.
You put the curbs.
You put a island there and make it pretty. And put a crosswalk there. And then any cars that park there will be just an added benefit, but I think that would do the job.
I think it's a good visual break, and I truly do think it also will add a lot to your store.
I
Just
think
to have
so,
some
too.
greenery there or something in that island that's landscaped, and it's like the one, I know you'll have that whole front bed, looks like something going on there. Is that raised, or what are you gonna do? So it blocks off person's entry, so they just go around? Like, is it?
Stone now.
Yeah, it's currently stone.
Oh,
It's
but
kind of
yeah,
overgrown a
will
little
people
bit.
just walk over it though?
No, you can't.
Okay.
It's big stone and overgrown shrubs, so.
Got it, yeah, so it's gonna be,
Make it nicer.
Yeah.
For sure.
okay. Yeah, I think that would add a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and again, I know it's their parking lot, like the landlord's lot, and, you know, I'm not trying to add to your budget, but I do think it'll have a payoff and it'll really calm traffic in there.
I think we have to do something with it as far as what happens there. And that seems to be a reasonable, if you put an island there, maybe even one on each side, small island on each side, and then you could have plantings and you can have signs and.
And then still what have the same speed bumps pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're just going over that, and then,
But the island would keep them from going, because it's an obvious impediment to going around,
right,
and they're there all the time, they don't go home.
for the purposes of tonight, can we draw those in and kind of initial them or have that as a conditional thing? You know, is that
I think that we need the applicant to verify that that's okay with the landlord. I mean, because I guess if we were to approve it and then the answer was no, I think we might have an issue. I probably would rather see a revised plan to
Okay.
clarify that.
Yeah, I can coordinate with you once I
How's your
get back from them.
We're not slowing you down.
We're slowing you down for this.
We have a responsibility to try to make this safe as we can, so.
No, we should still be okay schedule wise, because we are doing concurrent review with
Right.
this and our building permit, so as
Sure.
long as we're able to get, approval for the site plan review prior to Christmas, so
right.
we'll be in good shape.
So this is your guy, it's your bailiwick, so do something for us and bring it in and
Yep.
make it pretty, and I'm sure we'll go along.
Does it need to be by a civil engineer, or can it be an architectural site plan, or?
Well, I
you
don't
want
think
to
it's
see
gonna be,
Thinking architectural would probably be fine.
yeah, I think
Okay.
because it's not exactly,
You should dimension.
safety
it, so
related
it's
or
called out.
anything like that, it's not like you're gonna weight bearing or anything like that, so I don't know that we need any more than an architectural
Okay,
drawing, it's just gonna be sitting on the ground.
Yep, alright.
So,
Yeah.
when, you know.
we'll get
So,
that.
my other question is, well, nobody asked this yet, but the existing landscaping that's there now, are you gonna replace that with in kind or?
Yeah, the idea is that anything that's dead would be replaced in kind, and just overall refresh of the landscaping that's currently there. Cleaned up.
So is the refresh that you envision have any major changes or is it gonna be pretty much in kind?
Pretty much in kind.
Have you had a chance to look at the landscaping plan for that site from Joe Fish?
I have not.
I want to do that just so you know that you're on the right page.
Okay.
So
Is that, public record? I
Yes.
think that's good. Okay.
she can get it for you, yeah. Other than that, I want to echo what these guys have said, but we just really look forward to having you in town here. We think it's just a great thing to have a company like yours come be in our town, so. We just want to try to make it safe for you as well as, the people who live in town, so.
Do we know if, where it's a former restaurant or soon to be former restaurant, does that whole property share one big septic or
It has its own.
this has its own?
Yeah,
Is there
this
any
was
reason
always,
to
this
cap
was
it
always
or?
a separate piece of property. This was always not connected to Walmart.
Okay.
Or anything else, it was always a separate piece, so it always had all its own. Obviously, whatever system is there now will be overrated for the use that it's now gonna have. so
Right. Yeah, I just know if there was any reason to.
A little maintenance and then probably go a long way, it'll be just fine.
Part of, GC interior demo right now is they're removing all the floor sinks, grease interceptors, grease pits, all that back to the existing plumbing lines and. Is gonna scope the plumbing line as well, just to make sure there's no bellies or anything.
Well, I'm glad you're gonna remove those coolers back there, but I don't think they really impact it much, because it's just gonna give you more parking, which.
Right.
We don't-
Cleaner on the outside.
I can only watch more, yeah.
So it's fine, so, but it's neaten it up and give it a nice look, I think it's a good move, so. So. Anybody else have any comments on that? Danielle, anything you, did I miss?
No, just if there are public comments, I can send you the Joe Fish, landscaping plan
Okay.
and.
Anybody online? Oh, I'm sorry.
So if we can take this down and see if we have any comments or questions from the. We'll leave the, public hearing open, okay? So when you come back and, with your plan, we can just continue it and go from there. Okay? Anybody from the general public have any questions for this project? I think we're all set.
What are you continuing it to? What
Next
time?
meeting would be December 3rd.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, we should be able to get something together.
Yeah, it's not, it shouldn't be a big deal, but, when you're doing this, you're not doing it you're doing it for yourself too, so. Keep your presentation to the town in mind as well when you do this. prettier it is, the more people you can buy to see, so. Put a little time into it, put a little thought into it.
You mentioned the first flagship store, is there plans to expand, to other retail
I'd
locations?
imagine this one's gonna keep them pretty busy for a while.
I'm sure, yes.
There'll likely be one flagship store, maybe forever, at least for a few years. We might expand retail, but nothing freestanding to the level that we're investing into this place. It would be more strip mall type stuff.
Gotcha.
But we gotta get our hands around this one first, and figure out the future.
Well, you picked a good season to get the Patriots on board. so-
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
got lucky there.
So, do we?
They've
know
got retail
time
space.
certain?
We don't have anything else, so 7:30, if that works for everyone.
7:30 on the 3rd. So be it. So any questions or comments from the public in this?
Are you gonna hire teenagers?
We will hire,
Sorry.
store manager, full-time staff,
Gotta say your
and
name.
anyone legally that we can legally hire and employ in the state, in the town.
How old is that for retail?
I-
Five one.
I got a 16-year-old.
16? So 17, that sounds like, so,
17's the,
yes, yeah. Whatever legally we can do, we will.
Very nice. Okay, good. So, we're all set?
do we have to move to continue or?
Oh, we actually don't have a motion to continue.
I can
alright.
make something else.
Do you wanna, or I can do it?
I could do it, yeah. I could figure something out. I move that the Community Planning Commission, vote to continue the public hearing for 70 Main Street to December 3rd at 7:30 PM.
December 2nd. Oh, I'm sorry. It is December
December
2nd. I
3rd.
apologize. I did say the 3rd, but I didn't.
It's
It's the 2nd.
Second, I
I'm sorry.
apologize.
No, I'm sorry, my mistake.
I move to, that the Community Planning Commission vote to move, continue the public hearing for 70 Main Street to December 2nd at 7:30 PM.
Okay, good. We're going. And as soon as you can get something over to Danielle, she puts it into this file and we can look at it. So we come already knowledgeable.
Yeah, try to get something over before Thanksgiving,
That'd be good.
Nice.
hopefully. Let's
Okay.
see how quickly I'm gonna get.
All right, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you all.
You guys. Have a good day. Thanks.
I don't know what
I
we're.
don't know what's going on with this, but I mean, I can present it.
What?
I don't know, he was in conservation meeting, he says he's gonna be here at 7:30.
Do we need to vote on the motion?
need a vote on that motion, right?
Oh, yeah.
He says he can't.
He
leave his
seconded.
office.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye,
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. Let the record show 5 in favor, no opposed.
So he's still on this conservation meeting, I guess, so I guess I can present, if Danielle, if you can put up the A&R. And then as far as the actual Mylar or whatever, you know, you would just have to drop it off with, Danielle, I guess.
We have it.
Oh,
Yeah, we already
okay.
have it.
Oh, all right,
We have to-
yeah, I apologize, so. Accuse myself and then I'll be on the side.
If you want to, it's up to you, if you want to sit
Sure.
here, I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, if it helps,
I don't know,
Only an hour,
it's a
I
bit
guess.
different, but let me put on the, plan
Yeah.
first.
it's your boss,
Oh, sure.
if it gets up there.
Sure.
Perfect.
You want mouse?
Might as well, in case I have to point to anything.
Also have a laser pointer, if you would like.
Oh, I guess you could do that.
Better.
Yeah, okay. Where's my cat?
Please state your name and address.
Does it work? So, on record. We did, okay.
Yeah.
I heard you say it.
That's what's walking.
Gotcha.
Thank you, though. You guys have to remember all of this, you know.
Oh.
Public
That's right.
hearing notices and all, you know, I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Battery. Oh, wait,
Oh, wait.
There we go.
saw something.
Might show up,
it should be, oh, Luke is on the call.
All right, great.
I think you just have to hold it down. Yeah, there it is. It's very
Okay.
tiny.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fine. So maybe it's not that helpful.
It's just connecting.
Okay, so Luke's connecting, Mr. Chair, what's the best, to have Luke talk online, or do you want me to talk? I don't care, whatever.
Where is he?
He's
Fine.
behind,
He's
he's getting online because he's basically on two different public meetings. That's why conservation's changing their meeting times in January, because it's on the same day as ours. So we've had this
Yeah.
problem before, as you've seen, with applicants. I have to leave because I get conservation, you know, on the same meeting, so. Luke, I was explaining the issue with conservation, until January, when they changed the meeting date. It falls right on the same as the CPC meeting, so I know you're tied up with both, but, again, so Mr. Chair, do you want me to,
Well,
walk
let's hear
through,
from
or-
Luke. Let's hear from Luke.
okay, so Luke, if you want, you're on mute right now, but if you want to just go through briefly, it's up on our screen, as you can see.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Sorry about that. Luke Roy, LJR Engineering. Yeah, we submitted this approval not required plan for 7 Gowing Lane. And we've proposed dividing the property into lots 1, 2, and 3 as shown. The lots 1 through 3 have conforming frontage on Gowing Lane, private way, 160 feet on each of those lots, and greater than 40,000 square feet land area. The lot 1 contains an existing dwelling, and we're proposing the lot lines such that that existing dwelling could remain and conform to the side setback minimum requirement of 25 feet shown here on lot 1. And lots 2 and 3 have no structures on them as in the current plan as we're proposing the lines. There are some wetland areas on the site. On the westerly side, coming in like roughly half of lot 3 is wetlands, and then along the easterly boundary line of the site is also another wetland area that's a delineated line that we've surveyed in on the plan itself. And I guess lastly, I'll mention there's a couple of parcels, parcel A and parcel B, that were carved out with this plan, which are not buildable as shown, and we've labeled them as such, mainly due to frontage, certainly parcel B, and then parcel A is a smaller area that is non-conforming as far as being a buildable lot. So that's a quick summary of the plan, and we would hope that the commission would consider endorsement of the plan as we have it drawn.
Okay, what's the, next question may be for Dave. What's the final disposition of parcel A and parcel B? They just going to exist as.
Yeah, it's more to create buffer, really. Most of it's, as you can see, is wetlands, and the other is, we didn't want to create, say, for lot 2 or lot 1, an excessively large lot, you know, because that would maybe promote building another dwelling on it or whatever. So we wanted to keep it at least to try to be, you know, and they are more than, most of them are more, well over 40,000. But we felt that if we didn't kind of limit that somewhat, they'd be, you know, subject to putting multiple dwellings on them. So we're trying to, you know, limit that a little bit. That was the intent, at least.
All right, so I went for a walk on this with Dave to take a look at the roadway and everything, so. Are we, is our position on this is that it's a road that pre-exists zoning and that means that it's adequate? Danielle?
I don't think that's a question for me to answer. I don't think that our adequate access bylaw is triggered by this proposal because, the road predates, our zoning bylaw, which is where the adequate access bylaw is. I think you as a board need to feel comfortable that there is actual access there, vehicular access. I don't think that you can necessarily hold it to the exact standards, of other types of roadway improvement projects, because of how old the road is. And there is, while it's not the exact configuration of the, lot as it will be after it's subdivided, there is a house on the lot. I mean, the access is not the same because it's currently accessed through a different driveway, but, usually when we have, you know, unaccepted ways, usually that does not apply when there's already been a house on the lot. So, I mean, I think there are a lot of reasons why we can't necessarily apply the zoning bylaw as strictly as we normally would for most projects, but you should feel comfortable that each lot can safely be accessed.
Yeah, and as I expressed to Dave, that there's a couple places where it gets quite narrow. And unfortunately, in those places, it's also got some elevation restrictions that make it difficult to widen it. That one area where you'd have to have a wall on top, but I don't know how far on the north side of the road, where it gets pinches down. Not sure how much more layout there is there to do anything with, you know? So,
Yeah, like right here is the tightest spot.
yeah,
So going through the whole street, it's 860 feet long.
Yeah.
Right now it goes to right here. The fire chief, John Stats, came down and reviewed the plan here. Right now, we have this staked out for 18 feet wide, right down to about right here, which would provide an 18-foot new road bed and paving to, now, and also just to back up, the whole road is paved. This has newer paving, and then this has paving all the way to the end, which we exposed, you know, this summer and everything like that. But it's obviously not wide enough, so we're making this 18 up to this point, again, allowing for a new driveway here. And then also that allows for an extra 20 feet of asphalt, and then all that they would need for snow plowing, you know, if they need to extend it. It's not gonna have like a fence or anything right there. And then right here, the chief just asked that we radius the new section of roadway right here to create a four-way. This is 85 feet wide here. He said the engines would have no problem backing up in here. They said that this is what they've used in the past right here, is this kind of four-way in the middle. And then moving back down here, we're gonna widen the throat to Haverhill, because right now it's exceedingly narrow and most people almost have to pull, you know, into the dirt or whatever right here. But as far as this, we can do some widening, but we haven't gotten really any complaints from anyone that said this, you know, we can't get through here or anything like that. The fire chief didn't have an issue. You know, even RMLD didn't have an issue. They just want to add a new pole. They asked that we just take down more trees, which we did a lot a few weeks back. And then we have to do a few more right here for the new roadway. But overall, we're waiting, you know, for their plan to add, I think, there is a pole right here, but they're gonna add a new pole, a higher, taller one that can carry the transmission from here. We're adding 375 feet of new water line, here with the new hydrant right here. And that's been approved by the water department, Peter Prince. So we're trying to make the street definitely more conforming or safe, water services, all that kind of stuff, so that it's just, but we want to try to also maintain, you know, the kind of private nature of it with stone walls and tree canopies and things like that. We just acknowledge that there had been no real maintenance to it by my wife's family and, you know, our family, if you will, for a lot of years. So all those smaller saplings and stuff within those stone walls. And again, they're basically everything you see of Gowing Lane is lined with stone walls. The whole thing's lined with old stone walls. So but we removed a lot of the trees inside the right of way that were there and starting to grow, because they were just kind of taking over the lane. So there's quite a bit of, space. Again, the narrower spot's 35 feet, the largest is 85, and you can see where that, kind of driveway is going north to south.
Okay, just so, for clarification, this, the A and R, none of the things he just talked about are required by the A and R.
Just context.
Yeah, just to let you know, I mean, we were looking, when I talked to Dave, I realized he has a plan to try to make this a whole lot more usable and a whole lot more user-friendly for the people that live up there. And also, if he's gonna try to sell one of these lots, he needs to make it accessible in such a way that the people don't feel like they can't get in and out or maintain the roadway. So gonna do that as a result of necessity. So all this, all the A and R is that we approve the lots in their configuration that they meet the standards for A and R approval. That's all we're doing really tonight. But I just sat down with him, and I appreciated everything he was planning on doing to make that more accessible, so I figured I'd give him a chance to explain, just like he
Appreciate it.
explained to me.
Yeah, because it is, if you drive down, I mean, if you drive down now, it's a lot better, it's more opened up now, but it does, again, when I talk about where it really needs improvement is, you know, from that, you know, this area down. And that's where it needs more, you know, help, love, whatever you wanna call
Well,
it.
also I'm sure the fire department likes the fact that that you're gonna make this a little more accessible.
Yes,
For the fire trucks and things like that. It's a safety item, issue for you and for any future owners of any of this land and any houses that might build, so. So does anybody have any questions on that?
So I just have the one question, Dave. When we went through there, there were a bunch of trees that were had like the tags, they were all
Yes.
tagged. Are those have all been removed?
so when you were there, they got rid of, again, sorry, I'm using a laser pointer for people that are online here, but they got rid of all the tag trees that we had here that were in the right of way.
Yeah,
We left alone some of the very, very big pine trees that are in the right of way, but, you know, if anything, if you look at the canopy now, they go straight up. What was happening with all the smaller 5-inch, 8-inch caliper type trees
Yeah.
is they were crowding in and actually closing in on the transmission line here. So that opened up a canopy. Now you just have kind of, it's more sunlight coming in, but the trees still line it. Where you saw additional ones is right in here. There's about 6 trees, pretty small, only one oak that's like right on the pavement line here, but most of them are pretty small trees, but they're in there. And those are gonna be removed this winter.
yeah, I know, when we were down there, there were a
Yeah,
lot of
they're all
tag
tagged.
trees, yeah.
If
Okay.
anyone from the public wanted to go, they could go see, you know,
Yeah.
where everything is, you know,
Nice.
tagged.
Now, that is a private road, right?
It's private road though, yeah.
It's gonna continue to be a private road.
Yes, yeah, it would be.
All right, well, that's.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah, that's a good
We
question.
need clarification.
So plowing would be on their own.
Yeah.
It's like a maintenance agreement.
Well,
between the
again,
tenants.
that's outside of,
Right.
out of the A and R, but,
Right,
we
whatever they
talked
do.
about that, you know, he may want, in the process of marketing this, he may want to have some kind of an HOA in order to designate responsibility for maintenance of the roadway and sharing.
It's been a family agreement at this point, you know, so this is a family member's home right here. And but right here, and then this is a family, so they've been splitting it, so that's now to have to be put into a formal,
Some
yeah,
kind of
like a formal
But
agreement.
that has nothing to do with the A and R.
No,
It's just, again, it's all context.
Sidebar, yeah.
It's
I just wanna make sure
context, because
everybody
it's a
understood
private
that the
drive,
A&R
so
was a
people ask.
standalone-
Yeah,
So,
it just helps people understand.
Standalone decision, so.
I guess the only question I had was, water, when we were talking about services, where the nearest hydrant was gonna be, you
Yeah.
addressed that, that's
Yeah.
gonna be, part of that can be on a private way, that's.
Yeah, it's actually, because right now, the existing hydrant, John, is right here, so
Okay.
it's a hydrant 240 feet in, and then a 6-inch main to it. And then the services for this house, which is here in 66, and this one lived around that time, I think after but they have their water service basically right a little bit past that, and it just goes, you know, copper. So there's copper running all the way to this house. 1 inch
Oh,
copper.
1 inch.
Yeah, I know, it's a 1 inch copper line, but that will go away, that will be abandoned, and so there'll be a new main valve put in here, so you can isolate, that, and then from here it'll be, a 6 inch, ductile iron that goes all the way out to here. And then the hydrant will be at the end here, and then the last service will be, 20 feet back or 15 feet back from that per, North Reading water. So the last thing is the hydrant, so they can flush the line.
Okay.
And then the last service is back from there, 15 to 20 feet.
So there's no wells being dug?
No.
It's all gonna be on town water?
Town water, yeah, just as it is now, but this makes it more convenient, so there'll be a corporation at every lot.
Yeah.
For water service.
So access to lot 3 and utilities will be part of the development.
Yeah, in a way, it's all off the Gowing lane, so whether it's RMLD power, or we don't have gas, on Gowing or that, so it's just gonna really be power and, water.
Yeah.
And I guess cable too, like with the power and thing.
Yeah.
AT&T
Any
Comcast.
wires we can get.
Yeah.
To that, and then if a fire truck can get up and down it, then certainly an oil delivery truck or a propane truck can get up and down without it.
Correct, yeah, and that's how both of them are on propane, so they do get deliveries, and
Okay.
actually even oil. Number 7 was both propane and oil.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I guess I can, entertain a motion.
I got one.
They're here for that. I don't know if they're.
Go.
Did you have any comments or questions?
Lorette Burgess, 171 Hazel Street. Not really, I don't know if this is a concern, but we have a deeded right of way to Going Lane up to our back driveway. And, it's never been a problem because, as you know, it was just.
Right.
just the-
Yep.
But with families and many more cars, it is, the visibility for us to leave that driveway is not great.
Right.
It's really not good. And I'm just concerned, with a lot of cars up and down, that the use of our back driveway could be impacted. Or it would be having recourse in this.
Right.
Is your house the house with the driveway that goes off to the right?
Right, their main, access is off of pavement,
Right, obviously,
but they have a right of way.
but would you
Right.
access,
So currently, my mother lives,
I'm sorry, could you say your name?
I'm sorry, Scott Burgess, 171.
Thank you. It's just that the recording, they can't see you. It's all, so when she.
So my mother lives in the apartment inside the house with us in the summertime, and she's the only one who uses it regularly during the summertime. Being out there, we're just concerned.
but yes, she's mentioned sometimes, I think there might be like a little elevation.
It rises up a little there, Lori, but I think what helped, we got rid of that one pine tree that really, you noticed, really could have blocked your view. Cause that was something I was mindful of when I was walking up and tagging trees, is I looked back and I saw, and I don't know, maybe we'll have to work together to make sure we can figure out a way, whether it's even one of those, those mirrors or whatever, so you can actually see, but open to whatever will make it easier, but I do understand what you're talking about. With that
Basically,
location.
nothing would change, but there was never more than, one vehicle
Right.
back and forth.
Yeah, and I think what'll help too in the front, and this is off the payroll, is there was the, kind of that dead tree that was in the center of that grid there or whatever. That's gone, and then if we just cut back that hedge, just so it's crazy, and just, that'll also help visually too, looking to the left. And then, just again, radius in the end, because right now it just goes right to the end, but we're gonna radius it, so again, it's more visual, it'll look better and cleaner down there, and we got rid of all those little side trees and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
But
so.
also, I love those stone walls.
Yeah, oh yeah, so yeah, nobody's messing with the stone walls, and if anything, we're bringing them out because they were so covered with a lot of stuff, so now you drive and you just have the road and stone walls, and it looks really pretty, especially this fall, it was gorgeous, so.
And just for my clarification, the visibility is entering Gowing from a
Yes.
deeded
From the
right away?
access.
Yeah,
Okay.
from their driveway, yeah, John, it's like if you pull into Gowing, actually on point to it. So it's like, sorry, right here, right, would you say, or it's?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's,
Kinda like right here.
we looked at that little
Yeah.
driveway that goes up.
Oh, so you're south of Gowing?
yeah, so
Okay.
they're right here on Haverhill, and they have, their main kind of driveway into their garage and stuff's here, but they also have this right of way here.
Okay.
kind of a dirt, driveway into that area.
I was looking at the wrong house. so.
Yeah, that's why. Besides that, that's really it, you know, these folks here, have their driveway off of Haverhill. There's only the one here for 10 Gowing. This is actually us, and we access our house, via Dwayne Drive. And then over here is also Dwayne Drive access, so no one really uses Gowing except really just two people really use it. I should say three for Scott and Lori, but, so now we're talking about adding just two more uses of it, really, you know, two more. That's if, again, if they sell, if someone is to build these homes on them, so. That's the net.
I did have one more question, just one curiosity, it's on three. It's on three, see the access. Is there restrictions because of the wetlands where the house can be? Like,
Yeah, I mean, generally, and Lou can answer that question too, but generally, like all of these lots, they have a setback, so in RA, it's 50 feet in the front, 25 on the sides, and so that forms basically, yeah, a rectangle right here. Yeah, and for any of these, and it's very common in North Reading, no matter, you know, if you're within 100 feet of this wetland, you need to file a notice of intent with the Department of Environmental Protection. You have to, you know, go to what we hear is roughly 2 conservation meetings, you know, to get through that, which really results in an order of conditions that you have to abide by. So there'd be the, you know, silt sacks and different things to protect the resource from sediment runoff and things like that while they construct the home. But essentially, you know, this one, it, you know, is just gonna be a house that's right here, probably a smaller house, but a house that's just right up here. There'd be zero disturbance below that, so. They can't, you know, touch anything.
Those are wetlands don't affect the A and R unless they create an illusory access, which they don't in this case, so. So basically that when they apply for a building permit, that's when all the stuff that comes to the forefront. And they'll have to go to conservation and you can get approval for the whatever the design is for the house to make sure they meet the setbacks. And that they don't violate the Wetlands Protection Act. So. Okay, anybody else? Nobody on the line there? All right, then I will once again ask John if you will, please.
One more.
Yeah.
I move that the CPC vote to endorse as approval not required, the plan entitled Plan of Land, 7 Gowing Lane, Assessors Map 53, Parcel 32, North Reading, Massachusetts, Middlesex County, dated October 27, 2025, drawn by LJR Engineering Incorporated.
Second.
Okay, the motion in a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? And the record showed that David abstained because it's his project, so other than that, we have 4 in favor, no opposed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry I couldn't make it there.
No problem, thank you.
Before you leave.
You made
Thanks.
it just in time, so. Oh, yeah, you guys gotta sign. Yeah. You want to see, make a move? Or-
No, where I'll put it here.
So guys, we've been ready to go and go all at the same time.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, getting it to actually, put it all in the frame. It's like,
Brand new.
yeah, every time I'm like, that's so bad.
Maybe the
18.
Wow. What's happening?
I don't know.
He's getting ahead of me. Yeah.
No problem, you know, Lawrence.
Ours is 38%. Quarter of the charge. Yeah, three more. I mean, it's.
Funny
If I have a full charge, I'll get it.
I bet if you really, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have it. So.
Yeah.
It's a two paper, one mile.
Okay, so you want.
Okay, yeah, it's up to you.
Good.
Okay. Oh,
I'm a rookie, I'll go.
Lisa's not happy, but she gets there.
Billy, stop. Stop. Oh, there's a Sharpie right there, buddy.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Signature's pretty messy, everything. They want to get.
Nobody's gonna care.
It looks great. Good to know that.
You got that.
Oh, I know.
Students have a lot.
I was cutting down trees, went down there. So a goat was looking right down at me.
No, okay, all right. No offense, guys, but I'm not gonna hang out.
Oh, you don't wanna hang out with us?
It's much closer together. I feel like you guys don't like each other as much as we do.
Yeah, I can take that.
They don't usually do.
Night, everybody. Thank you.
There, if I could, just on our website. I just wanted to show you, I know I emailed you guys about it, but I just wanted to show you all of the supplementary information, the resources that we have in the shared files, whether it was share file or Dropbox or OneDrive, we keep having to move them, so Matt Cooper suggested, which I thought was a very good idea, just put it all in here. It's always accessible, it's right on our website, right here on our website, so the CPC, web page is here, and it's accessible to the public too, and a lot of this information is repeated on the community plan department site, and there is actually quite a bit more on the department website, but if you're looking for those, like, you know, the link to the zoning, bylaws, or the link to the zoning map, or our master plan, or any of the other resources that were previously, you know, they're still shared in our shared files, but every time we get a new member, I realize there's quite a time lag between they actually get, when they actually get access to everything. Now, the planning department page still has all of the, like, everything. I mean, all the stuff the planning department does. And that's also where we keep our meeting materials, which actually I think I might have linked from the CPC page too. So it's all here. So hopefully nobody will ever be stuck if you can't access a shared file or drive or whatever. It's there. So if there are any questions about that, just, you know, let me know. I just wanted to make sure you could, you know, always reach everything.
That's quite nice. Imagine that, Danielle.
Sure.
Woohoo.
That's that. That's all I have. Everybody else? Any older business?
Oh.
It wouldn't come on today.
Oh.
Kept saying, yeah, can.
I'm going to ask IT about, because they have mentioned before the possibility of just getting new iPads. So, you know, for those of you who still do use the iPad, it seems like it's been really difficult. I'll, I mean,
But only just to save the town money, I mean, I won't use it, so I didn't want to, like, yeah,
Right.
but if somebody needs it, you know, then definitely, you
Yeah,
know.
like bills won't hold a charge, so.
Right, Bill, like, I mean, you need it, you should get one. I don't want to.
I can use my laptop, but it's.
Yeah, no, I get it, I just don't want to be redundant, like, I'm gonna just use mine, so that would be a waste of town money. So, whatever,
Yeah, I'm the same way, I'll just,
Yeah, whatever's
I don't
needed.
care.
I just need a bigger screen, so I'm using my own.
John wants a heads-up screen display, actually, for He's just used to that, he's just used to that.
Oculus for everybody, right?
Once in green light where it's tranquil, right?
Imagine running the meetings with all five sitting here on Oculus.
You would actually enter the property, like you virtually.
You could, yeah.
Be on, look
We could
around.
all go for a stroll down Gowing Lane and
It's true.
Virtually.
Virtual.
as you can see here, we took this tree down.
It'd be like Google Streets, it would be pretty cool, actually,
We
right?
just have that on the streets, like to take the whole, everybody, the whole room, you know, onto the property.
That would be really cool.
Okay.
That's probably the future. At least.
We're not far from it, and that future, I mean. Are you looking for the agenda still, or see if there's anything else on it, or?
No, I'm just trying to, it wouldn't keep saying that we ran into a problem, please try again.
I'll talk to IT about it. These iPads are really not very old.
I don't know. Normally I have to solve it. I do everything at home and I just download it all, I don't have to fix it.
That's what I did.
No, but I didn't do it today, so.
Are you trying to open something?
Yeah, I was just trying to get back where the meeting, chair it was, so,
I think we've done everything on the agenda.
it wouldn't let me.
I guess then there was just we had talked about at the end of the night, talking about December. The schedule, we now have something
We
for
have something
December second,
The second, right?
or the third, we'll just drink both nights.
Right. Last year's meeting was on the third. If, I didn't know if anybody had anything coming up, because as we get closer to the holidays, sometimes, you know, that last meeting could be the 16th. Sometimes things come up, but
Yeah.
no one else has anything. Okay, we'll just, I'll just keep you posted as far as what comes in and what we have on that night.
We're not doing the SharePoint anymore.
No.
Or Microsoft.
I just won't let go of this.
Oh, well, I guess the only other thing then on that second, Tuesday or third Tuesday, where it would be lunch. Right, or that's.
Oh, no, it's not that. Oh, you're talking about the 16th, yes. Yes, we are having a party,
Okay.
which I sent, if anyone needs the info again, let me know, but
Right, in December.
yes.
Yeah.
16th of December, here, in this room.
You coming here to Santa Claus and.
Debbie, I've got a Dave Pinata for you in a big stick, so. She gets the first couple whacks without even the blindfold even.
Good.
All right, I guess that's all we got for tonight. I will, meeting tonight.
All right.
Thank you.